letting people know that, oye, aquí estoy.
I like Brian Cava. I like him.
¿Me entiendes? Pero al fin del día, Brian had several opportunities to be an interim counsel.
Yeah. He's young too. He's very young. Y cabezón. Eso sí es súper cabezón.
How are you? Todo el mundo me oye, ¿verdad? I don't need the mic, right? ¿Lo necesito o no lo necesito?
You're in Hialeah, you need the mic.
Bueno, no voy a hacer nada. I'm going to alternate between Spanish and English, Spanish, el micrófono y no micrófono. Pero bueno, my name is Ricardo Bermudez. I am your county commissioner, and it's great to be here. I'm going to introduce some people in a minute, but it's great to see some people that I haven't seen in a while, including people that were there when we founded Doral that are now all grown up and doing great. Y también algunos vecinos que tenían la ciudad de Doral previamente. So it's great to be here. Gracias a todos por estar aquí esta noche. First of all, I know that many of you have been frustrated. I got it. I understand it. That's why I'm here. I was elected 2.5 years ago with the intent of trying to make things better. And we've been trying to do it. I do want to point out, I want to thank the board here. Some of them are hiding in the back. I want to thank the staff for being so nice. Siempre hay buena comida aquí. Es lo más importante de todo. So I thank him. And I want to thank Eddie in particular, Sanquitera, who's been a trooper, letting me know everything that happens. Y él me deja saber todo, okay? Y me lo dice claramente. So I appreciate Eddie doing that for us. And I know that there's a lot of issues we're going to talk about today. We're going to have the county staff here talking about it and telling you. And then we'll take some questions after that. Si tienen alguna pregunta, vamos a decir dónde estamos en este momento con algunas de las cosas que han ocurrido y donde queremos estar pronto, si es posible. Y yo creo que, did we leave the comment cards on each seat? Todo el mundo tiene, si quieren tener comentarios, preguntas que quieren darnos también, lo vamos a tomar. Vean también reconocer otras personas que están aquí. I gotta recognize a number of people here. One person that has been very, very, very also important in letting me know everything that occurs here, and that's Councilwoman Belinda Vega, right here to our left. And she, trust me, vino a mi oficina, me dijo de lo que estaba ocurriendo, me recordó lo que tenemos que hacer, lo que estamos tratando de hacer. Y también alguien que la ha conocido mucho tiempo también, Ismael Monreal, que ahora es COO. Where is she? Ismael, where you hiding? There you go. De la ciudad de Hialeah. So I've known her a long time also, and her family. From our county, we have a number of people here, and I'll start by the Señor Diaz, who's the Deputy Director. And I want to thank him because truthfully, he's the Deputy Director now, but was the Interim Director. He did a fantastic job. Tenemos problemas con un gobierno tan grande como el Estado, mover ese, yo le digo la burra de rocas. Y lo más importante es que el Consejo siempre movió las cosas mucho más rápido cuando hemos tenido temas aquí en otra parte del condado. And by the way, I grew up in Hialeah. Yo crecí en Hialeah, en otra parte de Hialeah, but on West 59th and 14th. It's another Hialeah guy. Así que muchos de las personas que están aquí somos personas que crecimos en la ciudad de Hialeah. Y es muy importante, por lo menos para mí, yo creo que para el vecino también y otros que hemos crecido en esta gran ciudad, es importante. We also have Alex Vargas. Alex, he didn't make it. Alex did not make it. Miguel, y quiero darle gracias a Miguel Zuria porque fue él el director assistant director of engineering. But he came out here with some members of the board, with Eddie, and we were able to visit and certainly go through some of the things with some of your board as to what we're doing at this time. Leandro Oña, Chief of Highway, there he is. Thank you very much for being here. And Alejandro Sabreda, who's the project manager right here. He'll talk. Project manager means that he gets most of the questions. So, and I want to thank somebody, and he's hiding in the back because he's the only guy that ate as much as I did before. And that's from Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Chris Garcia from the Illegal Dumping Unit. Chris. ¿Verdad? Y él está aquí también porque vamos a hablar del tema también de illegal dumping. Does everybody speak Spanish, English? You prefer both? Is it okay?
Debe.
I'll do it as both. I can do both. But if I miss something in one language or the other that you don't understand, tell me, yell at me and say, dilo en español or say it in English. One of the two. We're in Hialeah, so we're trying to make it Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So, and we have here also from the Community Action and Human Services Department, Akiva Scott. I think she's outside. She's outside, right? She's still outside. And Eduardo Tamborrell. I want to thank them very much. Obviously, from the city of Hialeah, I appreciate the presence of both fire and police that are here. Chief Raul Gonzalez from Hialeah Fire. Raul, where are you? It is. Thank you so much for being here. And then we have the Deputy Chief, Rudy Bayo from Hialeah Police. Rudy, where are you? There you go. And Executive Assistant to the Chief, Jose Torres. He's here somewhere. Okay, there he is in the back. And Commander Ernesto Gutierrez is also here with us today, so thank you very much. Look, we're going to start with a presentation from our staff, but I want to tell you that the issues that I see, and this is an area that I started representing in November of 2022, is obviously something that is very clear to me. We had, and you'll hear from Social or from our staff, one of the projects was delayed because, unfortunately, the entity that we approved to do the project backed out, and we were not able, we had to quickly go back, and as our rules at the county work, we have to put it back out to bid. So that's number one. Number two, and we'll have some questions for Chris if you have some. Illegal dumping we know is a big issue here. Trust me, I drove down that area and saw everything that's happening. We have actually arrested a number of people here. I know it's a city of Hialeah, but we work together as two departments, and our illegal dumping unit for the county has arrested. As a matter of fact, last week I think they arrested somebody that was doing illegal dumping. And the important part from my perspective, I understand that truck traffic in particular, is an issue. I understand that obviously the roads that we're going to talk about are issues. We're going to talk about some timelines too. We have a presentation, right, that will tell us about the timelines. Lo más importante para mí, and I hope you all understand this, is I'm here to help you. I'm here to represent you. I'm here to try to make sure that we can get things done. A little bit about my background, you know, algunos que me conocen hace mucho tiempo saben, I was the founding mayor of the city of Doral, 9.5 years, left politics, was a wise idea. But the person that followed me didn't do that good a job, so the residents asked me to come back. I decided to run for county commissioner in 2022, simply because I think some of the things we did in the city of Doral are things that are needed at the county. We need to have streamlined government, more efficient, more effective, less bureaucracy, and fiscal responsibility. And one of the things that's important to me is obviously the quality of life. I represent 5 cities. I represent the city of Hialeah, where I grew up in, as I mentioned before. I represent all the city of Doral, all the city of Hialeah Gardens, all the city of Menley, all the city of Sweetwater, unincorporated Dade, the Belen area, from Southwest 8th Street to the Collier County line to Okeechobee, all the way to the Collier County line. It's the second largest district in size. It's un distrito más grande en tamaño. We're all equal in population. Obviously, it's a district that's grown a lot to the west, including here. This would not have been part of District 12 10 years ago. So with growth comes a lot of issues. They include planning, they include traffic, they include policing, they include quality of life, etc. And again, I want to reiterate, I want to thank the board and Eddie and the whole board for the fact that they decided to host us. So and that's important. I don't shy away from problems. Those of you that know me know that I will tell you exactly what I think. Sometimes if you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But you gotta know that I'm telling you what I actually believe. Some of you that know me a long time remember that I always tell people, any politician that tells you everything you want to hear, don't vote for him or her because they're lying to you. I don't agree with my wife 100% of the time. So 10 out of 10 times I don't agree with you. I'm here to agree with you 9 out of 10. But it'll never be 10 out of 10 because when I knock on doors and I remind people if anybody says that, then they're not being honest with you. No están siendo honestos. Y esa es una de las cosas que ocurre muchas veces desafortunadamente en la política. Estamos aquí, en primer lugar como condado, para darles respuesta a lo que estamos dando. Número 2, para informarnos, decirles dónde estamos. Y número 3, para hablar de cosas que opinamos que posiblemente pudiéramos hacer para mejorar la situación. Una de las cosas que ocurrió, y esto era importante, que some of the residents here in Canada were talking about it, al llegar al condado, muchos de ustedes tenían dificultades en poder ir a votar, tenían que ir a Miami-Dade, trabajando con la directora del Departamento de Elecciones en ese momento, con la oficina White, pudimos conseguir un sitio aquí para poder votar, para no tener que ir. Yo sé que hay muchos temas también que tienen que ver con la ciudad de Miami-Dade. Yo no represento a Miami-Dade, pero mi colega René García se representa a Miami-Dade. Él está comprometido también en trabajar en conjunto para mejorar esta área. Él, igual que yo, es una persona que creció en Hialeah y entiende también los temas que son importantes para su comunidad. Así que lo que vamos a hacer, le voy a dar el micrófono a José y a su equipo para que escuchen, den una presentación. Por favor, si tienen alguna pregunta, escríbanla ahí, vamos a tomarla. Somebody's going to help, right, Mike, to pick up the cards, you know, and if anybody has. Linda, do you want to say anything? Eddie, too?
Buenas, solamente quería decir, thank you, gracias por estar aquí y gracias a ustedes por estar aquí. Se ve en los números, right? The amount of people that is here, it shows that there is concern. So I'm glad that we are doing this, just to hear you out and see how we can, help resolve the problems. I know a couple of you have come to City Council and expressed concerns, so I'm just very glad that we're able to do this. We're able to join forces, the county and the city of Hialeah to try to make everything possible, right? One of the most important things is to be happy and to be at peace at where we live. So I think it's really important that we address all the issues that are concerns for you guys. So thank you guys for being here. It's very important for us to hear your voices. So thank you. And thank you for being here and hosting us. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Obviously, this is nothing can be solved if the county and the city don't work together. So nothing can be improved if we don't work together. So my commitment, and I know that Eddie and Linda and the whole team, actually the new mayor, the interim mayor, and the whole council knows that you have my commitment that to be here to try to make it better. I'm glad it's a large crowd. I'm sorry some of you are standing, so hopefully we get some chairs. We'll get the ladies to sit down. And now I'm going to turn it over to Josiah.
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias. We're just going to move this. I'll enunciate.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I could have talked about it. Ustedes me escuchan, ¿verdad?
So, estamos trabajando en varios proyectos en esta área. Como mencioné el comisionado, I am from Hialeah, so I'm proud to be here to talk. And I'm particularly from this area very close to here, from West Hialeah. So we have a number of projects in the area. Tenemos varios proyectos en esta área, la 170, la 107, y tenemos una presentación corta para ustedes, pero nos va a enseñar el progreso, the progress that we've made over time in these projects. We know that this is an area that has experienced a significant growth. El área ha experimentado bastante crecimiento en los últimos 10-15 años. Y with growth comes traffic, comes truck traffic, and we have a good mixture here of industrial traffic and residential traffic, and that's what we're going to try to, not yet. That's what we're going to try to address by some of these projects. So without further ado, I'll pass it along to my team, represented by Mike Soria, and then we'll be able to field any questions you guys have at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
So, thank you. Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Mia Soria. Everybody calls me Mike, so please feel free. It's a short presentation. We're going to introduce the two projects that we have in the area. Right now, for example, you're seeing an overall map of the area. And the two red squares that you see up there are the two projects that we have. The 107th Avenue project and the 170 project on the top side of the screen that's going to connect to the turnpike widening. And I'm sure you guys are very familiar with the turnpike ramps that are being constructed out there now. So that project 170 will connect to the turnpike ramps. So in a nutshell, Alex, let's go to the next slide for a second, and then we'll come back and we'll be able to open up for questions. So the project for 107th Avenue is from Northwest 138th Street to 170th Street. Right, the project consists of widening that area to a 5-lane section. A 5-lane section is really 2 lanes going northbound, 2 lanes going southbound, and a center turn, which allows people to turn left, left on either, to either direction, right? So that's what the construction will consist of. In addition, the project will install new drainage, lighting, all new signing and marking. So it's a full reconstruction of the area and connecting that vital segment from 138th Street north to 170th Street. The project, it's important to understand that the project right now is in the procurement phase. What does that mean? The procurement phase is when the project is advertised, and we're in the process of selecting a contractor to begin the work and begin the construction. The plans are right now 100%. Obviously, it's in the procurement phase. The intention is for the construction to begin in July of 2025. So at that point, the contractor already has a notice to proceed, so they can start the construction. The project will last approximately between 2025 and 2027, approximately 2 years for the construction duration of the project. Okay, so that's that project for 107. Let's go on to the next project, Alex. The 107. I'm sorry. So the Northwest 170th Street project goes from Northwest 105 to Northwest 97th Avenue. This is a 2-lane construction. This is it's a new roadway constructed between the 2 segments between 97th and 105, and it will connect directly to the Turnpike ramps interchange. Right now, it's under construction. I think the Turnpike interchange is going to be completed sometime within the next year, in December of this year. So in December of this year, the ramp should be substantially complete, which means all the construction is basically done. There might be some closeout stuff that the Turnpike needs to be finalized, but in general, that construction will be done. And this project, since it's a small project, in essence, because it's a 2-lane construction, the project should only take approximately 6 months. So by December, which is at the same time that the Turnpike ramps are completed, this project will be completed. So that segment, that connection from 97th Avenue to the Turnpike, which also allows you that 97th Avenue going northbound, you'll also be able to hit 170, go over I-75 bridge, right? That will be completed, right? So that's important. Again, just to reiterate, that project is approximately 6 months. By December, it will be completed. So those are the 2 projects that we have ongoing. The reason why we didn't get into a lot of specifics on the construction of the projects, because since they are advertised currently, they're in a phase that we call a code of silence. So there's some things that we really can't discuss that are very specific to the project. Any questions to that effect, you can also email us, and at that end the court, and we'll be able to respond to those questions. Obviously, now at this point, we're happy to answer any questions. That is the email of the young lady on the right and the clerk of the board. So if you have any specific questions, you can email them through there, and we'll be happy to respond to those already. So I guess from there, we'll open it up to any questions.
Let me just explain on the code of silence, which is, the code of silence is, it's a term that obviously many of you may not have heard unless you're Maxwell Smart fans, but that's where it comes from. The code of silence is a legal, it's a legal issue where specifically there's no decision being made on who's going to be doing some of this work for the county, so we can't talk about some of those specific things. We can talk about the timing and some of the technicalities of what our public works department wants to do, plans on doing, and maybe some of the technical questions you may have.
I have a question. The gap between 105th Street, 105th Avenue and 107th Avenue, is there going to be a gap there?
No.
Because, from 97th to 105th Avenue and it's not gonna connect to 107th Avenue, because if you know, the project, the way it shows on the map, it doesn't go all the way to 107th Avenue. So, what do we have, a road between?
No. It'll be connected. The turnpike ends at 105, and we're gonna connect to that area.
Yeah, but that, if you look at that, there's a gap that does not include the project, on the top, on the east-west corridor. It ends at approximately 105th Avenue, and it doesn't connect to, all the way to 107th Avenue.
No, the interchange itself will do that connection.
That connection?
Yes,
Okay.
there
All right.
will not be a gap.
So that's not a problem.
No, sir, not a problem.
How is, my biggest question is, now that we've got this problem with all the admittedly these gigantic plants and factories and warehouses back here, that's really what's created a lot of our problems. It's not the houses, it's that city idea has basically allowed these facilities to open up and cause this enormous amount of traffic. So now we're just planning for something that is unfortunate, now we're stuck with it. Question is, what's really gonna help with the truck traffic if we're really not helping the traffic that goes out to I-75 and that goes out to the Palmetto Expressway? That's where most of this traffic is going. It's not going to the turnpike, it's not going to 107th to go anywhere, it's not going to Okeechobee. The majority stacks up to really make a left out there and head back over to either I-75 north or be able to get on I-75 south to interchange across the graphic or to go into the Palmetto Expressway. So at the end of the day, this sounds great, it looks great, I'm sure this is gonna help in some way, shape, or form, but really doesn't solve the real big problem that we're having, which is stacked up after stacked up after stacked up semis and trailers, one after the other. You could literally have a light change 12 times before anybody can make a left to get on the expressway. I plan 30 to 45 minutes when I leave here for any meeting, just because I have to make up those 30 or 45 minutes sitting outside of my house. I could go 30 minutes and I haven't left the area. I could go 40 minutes sometimes and I haven't left the area. Because I'm still waiting to make a left, I'm still waiting to go straight. Doesn't matter. And the light that was placed right here at the exit of our community, of Aragon, this community, over to the right, it sounded at the beginning like it was gonna help. It's actually hindered a lot because sometimes traffic stacks up there. So now we're also waiting for people to move because nobody thought about putting a do not block intersection sign template down on the asphalt, which is also another problem. And then if we do that, then of course we gotta dedicate resources to enforce it and people get used to it. But the trucks are the major issue here. And I don't see how any of this, which I'm sure is good, I just don't see where the additional help is gonna come for all of the semis that actually stack up. And even worse, at the intersection, they stack up and then they stop in the middle of the intersection. Now you got trailers literally blocking traffic every single day, every single morning, every single afternoon. You've got trailer trucks literally blocking the intersection where nobody can make even lefts or right if they're headed either east or if they're headed west and they want to make a left turn, they can't even do that. So it makes traffic even worse in there. So the only thing I'm asking is, with all of this great planning, where's the thought behind the tractors and the trailers and everything that comes through our main street across from here? Like, how is that gonna help?
Well, these are two major roadway segments that are gonna be complete, right? The 170 and then the 107, right? With 97th Avenue as well. The truck traffic should actually use I-75, right? Obviously, it's a quicker connection for them to connect to the turnpike, and then also they can hook up to I-75. And obviously, sir, once these roadways are completed, it doesn't stop there. There also has to be, from our point of view, we have to look at it from an area-wide traffic analysis, which is part of our traffic engineering section. They need to come over here and do their field review, because the traffic patterns are gonna change once these roads are completed. And at that point, we need to evaluate what some of those specific issues are and how to address them. For example, that intersection that you're talking about, the don't block intersection, that's a simple one that we can address, right? That's one, I can obviously reach out to our group and have them take a look at that. That's a quick one, 97 down, and we can work with the city as well to see how we can get that one quick. If the don't block is like, maybe that's like I don't know, it's a no-brainer, right, kind of deal, right? So I appreciate the comment, and I guess just to reiterate the response, those two arterials, those two roadways that are gonna be constructed, they're gonna provide some relief, and at that point, we need to look at what the traffic patterns are. And hopefully we can solve some of
There
those
is
issues.
one more thing that, just
Go ahead.
left out, and that is, it's happened to me twice, which is, like equivalent to vehicular assault. You have a truck on the right lane, a tractor trailer, and you're making a left turn side by side with the tractor trailer. And it's happened to me twice. The first time, I dismissed it to a a CDL driver that got his driver's license got over.
Right.
And he basically squeezed me into the island.
Right.
And so that he could make a left on I-75 without having any problem. So I could not make my left turn because I had to stop. I was gonna eat the median. Now, the second time this happened, I had the sunroof on, and the driver was looking at me as he was doing that. So it was deliberate. It was not an amateur. He was doing it deliberately.
So by driving is by
Okay,
driving.
and now, at that time, when we are struggling in that intersection, like in the morning, around 8, 9 o'clock, and we are fighting that intersection, I go get gas at Shell Station, and there's 7 police cars having coffee. There's nobody there. No, wait, it doesn't end there. It really doesn't end there. We here in this community, in this strip community, are right now critical losers, okay? Because we have to deal with the emission of vehicles from I-75, from 138th Street, from 36th Avenue. In the wintertime, 138th Street is blocked completely with dump trucks, with tractor trailers. Let's not forget, okay, tractor trailers, most of them, a lot of them are compliant now, but if you believe that they're all compliant with the new diesel rules, you're a fantasy man. Definitely the dump trucks are not, okay? And then all the vehicles. The school there, the prep school, holds classes outdoors all day long. Okay, these kids are breathing these fumes all day long. Jose Martin, the kids are breathing these fumes all day long. We, in the strip of housing, we're trapped with these fumes. I travel all over the United States. I travel to the islands. I travel to Europe. Okay, the only place I need to walk around with a glass of water is Hialeah to wash down the burning feeling in my throat. Okay, this part of Hialeah. There's got to be a problem here, and you guys are, you're not addressing this as an emergency.
But
This
these are
is an
traffic,
emergency.
these are traffic issues, there's also, you also mentioned.
Yeah, but we didn't create it. This was planning. I come
Traffic is when
with the buildings that are without the top strip of warehouses, there's 1,600 truck bays within that 1,600 plus truck bays in that block of warehouses that goes from 138th Street to 114th Court. Okay? So I'm going to count the 114th Court to 178th Street. When you add all those warehouses, you're adding another 400 truck bays. And all these buildings are about to get a CO. They're all up. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Sir.
This project needs to have an incentive to be finished prior to 2 years, where the company, receives a compensation for, whatever amount they desire, 20%, whatever it is, cut it down to 18 months. 2 years is savage.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe that's something we can discuss internally and see if we can expedite the project somehow.
Yeah, we can take a look at that outside of the cone of silence and see if that's a possibility to add
We are living on a health emergency
Let's-
with all these
Let's
kids.
go to the next person. I know there's a lot of people with their questions, so.
Sorry, needless to say, we do have a traffic, especially the big traffic problem there has been described. I wanted to add to what my neighbor said earlier regarding the front area here in front of the exit of the entrance to the community. First, I want to thank you for promising to look into this. And perhaps part of your study can look at the placement of the school zone. All of us drive through school zones, and sometimes it's really a big distance between the beginning and end of the school zone. Here, it seems to be too short and too close to the entrance of and the exit of the community. Perhaps this can be evaluated by you guys, the experts.
That's a good comment, sir. Maybe what you can do is you can send, or I happily to give you my email, but maybe through the commissioner's office, you can send that request, and I'll have our school section take a look at it and potentially increase that school zone. That's definitely a good question, a good answer.
I know this
Good comment.
has been a very complex issue and finally was resolved after 6 years. So I was thinking, since you're looking into the placement of the block intersection or whatever, maybe at the same time, there's an addition to it.
Yes. Thank you very
But
much.
I'll be happy to help.
Yeah, I can give you my email, or we can go to the commissioner's office. I think probably be that more direct, say to them, we'll visit.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
What about expanding 97 past 170th to